The following contest is an elimination match. And at a combined weight of 493 pounds, the World Tag Team Champions, the team of Jimmy and main event, Jay the Usos.
Here come the ones.
Before joining the Bloodline, they were already considered an all-time great team, but now they've proven it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, unifying the Raw and SmackDown tag titles, the longest tag title reign in WWE history, that is more than enough proof.
The OTC is here.
And his partners from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman Reigns.
And what I think is most incredible about this man is he has more WrestleMania main events than anyone in history. In history, double-digit WrestleMania main events.
Roman Reigns is a man who defines his own generation. This guy is the A1 guy.
Well, he started, of course, as the enforcer, the Shield. Would go on to become the big dog, and then the tribal chief, a man who has completely reimagined and redefined the professional wrestling industry.
Roman Reigns is a chameleon. He's changed multiple times during his run here in WWE, but with each change, he acquires more and more power.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand up, put those hands up, and acknowledge the OTC. The WWE Universe on their feet for their tribal chief, because the OTC is still the top dog around here, man.
Well, here comes the one and only Sami Zayn.
And their partner from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, Sami Zayn.
Every time Sami Zayn is in that ring, he gives it everything he's got. Whether it's a crowd of 5 or 5 million, Sami Zayn is going to leave it all in the ring.
Oh, absolutely, Wade. And you have to appreciate that he's always ready to prove that no matter who the opponent is.
Well, he came out of the gates in NXT as the underdog from the underground, and he is still fighting with that same heart to prove that the little guys can still come out on top.
Sami Zayn's a world-class competitor, no doubt about it. He just needs to make sure to get out of his own way tonight. Stay out of his head. This dude is one of the most impressive young superstars we've seen.
Braun Breaker on a meteoric rise in WWE.
And their opponents, first representing the Vision from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 250 pounds, Braun Breaker.
Talk about exceeding expectations in this business.
Yes, Braun Breaker has had a meteoric rise in WWE ever since his NXT days. Breaker may be a second-generation superstar, but he is very much his own man.
He won his first title in NXT a few months after debuting, and his first Intercontinental title months after moving to the main roster. He's a fast learner, man.
Braun Breaker has only exceeded expectations since stepping foot in a WWE ring, and it's clear that he's still got a hell of a lot more to offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the killer has been unleashed.
And his partners, representing the Vision from Black Forest, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, Big Bronson Reed.
Like a natural disaster or a kaiju come to life.
Bronson is a whole new breed of big man, agile and with plenty of impressive athleticism.
Bronson Reed believes he is pound for pound one of the best competitors in WWE, and he has no problem proving it. A celebrity turned certified superstar.
And representing the Vision from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 220 pounds, Logan Paul.
Look, I know he is not everyone's favorite person, but Logan Paul is truly undeniable in that ring. His skills, his accomplishments, they speak for themselves.
I don't think people take issue with that. It's how Logan Paul conducts himself outside the ring that most people object to.
Well, they sound like jealous haters to me. Logan Paul is legit, and there is nothing they can do about it. The social media phenomenon, just feeding off the crowd's disdain.
A man who calls himself the Now, Austin Theory.
Weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory.
This young man is as cocky as the day is long, but he backs it up every night.
It looks like Theory brought all of his friends in the ring with him tonight.
Oh, watch your mouth, Cole. You are looking at the youngest United States champion and Mr. Money in the Bank ever.
How did that cash in go?
Well, I don't have that information readily available. Usually the guys at 2K are great about giving me the stats. I'll get back to you.
Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Braun. We talk a lot about the future of this business, but let me tell you something. When it comes to these two monsters, the future is
not like
yeah, and whether it's with a spear or a tsunami, neither Breaker nor Reed have a problem letting the entire locker room know that it's their time. And you get the feeling that they'll be talking about this match on the beautiful beaches of San Diego tomorrow.
Putting it right on the corner. Something's coming. Oh, double axe handle.
Putting up a united...
Being joined by the scorers Lawrence Holmes and Mark Grody. We'll get to the moves that the Bears did and didn't make in just a moment. But Grody, it feels like the season just ended yesterday. It's already the new league year this week. What?
Yeah, it's crazy. And how things change rapidly. You know, when Ben Johnson told us all, hey, don't expect us to be the same next year, I was like, yeah. We did. You know, the offense is coming back, and it's going to be very different this year.
Yeah, Lawrence, I'd imagine that the phone line for Ryan Poles is a lot busier this season compared to seasons prior. I mean, when you finish 11-6 and make it to the divisional round of the playoffs, teams can come calling, right?
Well, you've already seen it happen, right? With DJ Moore, that being one thing, and I imagine that they were on the phone, too, about Max Crosby, and it just didn't happen for them. So, if you've got guys that people are interested in, the phone's going to be ringing through the general manager, and I think the general manager is also out here trying to figure stuff. They got a lot of free agents. They had to figure out a way to move money. They did that, and now let's see where they go from here.
These are some good issues for the Bears to have. All right, let's give the people what they want and get right into it. Tomorrow, the negotiation period officially begins with the new league year starting on Wednesday. Here's what happened last week. Jim Dahlman's sudden retirement. DJ Moore traded to the Bills with the Bears landing an additional second-round pick. Linebacker Tremaine Edmonds got cut. The Bears traded for center Garrett Bradbury. And, oh, by the way, 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby. He is not coming to Chicago. Instead, he is headed to Baltimore. The Ravens were the ones who handed over the 2 first-round picks. So how much of a missed opportunity was this for the Bears? Lawrence, I'll start with you.
Okay, so the crazy thing is like, even if the Bears had offered 2 first-round picks, the Ravens' 2 first-round picks would have been better. So, like, they probably went with the best deal that was possible. I don't know if the Bears could have gone any further than that to try and get Max Crosby. If you're Joe Burrow, when you look up now and look at the pass rushers that are going to be chasing you around over the next couple of years, it gets very, very scary.
I look at it in a couple ways. If the Bears had pulled it off and they had made trade for Max Crosby, I probably would have been celebrating. We all would have been celebrating. But there was always that part in the back of your head. You really want to give up with this team that is just starting to get going. You really want to give up your first-round resources for the next 2 years. And then there's part 2. I know it's not a big injury, but there was the meniscus injury last year with the knee. You have all these different positions that you need to fill on this team right now. Left tackle, safety, linebacker. It's probably better that you're putting your resources, that you're multiplying your resources into other places. But the fact still stands that you do have to continue to search for people who can get to the quarterback unless you truly are depending on the injured guys like Dio Dangbo and Shapar Turner to make the big jumps going into next year.
I know you said safety, but also safety. Yeah, right. So safety, right? Yeah, safety. Yeah, Bears have to figure that part out too. So there's a lot of work that they need to get done between now and when the team is going to break camp.
So who should the Bears pivot to now at defensive end? Are you expecting them to draft defensive end? Because Ryan Poles has said he does like the depth of that position in this class.
I do. There's no reason not to. Like it's a weird thing because we used to hear Bears general managers talk about drafting a quarterback every year. You should be drafting pass rushers every single year. So here's an opportunity, and it's a decent enough class where there's some talent to go and find. I don't know if you're going to be able to, whether it's swing a deal to try and bring in Trey Hendrickson or whatever. You do need a pass rush, and they haven't had someone opposite of Montez Sweat that can really unlock him as a pass rusher. I expect that multiple picks will be on pass rusher.
But if you try to get a guy like Trey Hendrickson, he's going to want some big money there, right?
He's earned it. And the Bears can figure out a way to do it. You know, we get caught up in I went on a whole screen on this on my podcast, but we get caught up in the whole, they're over the cap. Yeah, and then Brody goes in there and they convert his money into a bonus, and then they're not. So I'm not worried about the Bears and the salary cap. They can make things happen if they need to. And the window that they're in right now says that they're a playoff team. So why not go and try and win as a playoff team?
Well, and Trey Hendrickson, like we're talking about $30 million a year. And again, if they were to pull it off and they were to sign Trey Hendrickson, I probably would be celebrating once again. I mean, that would obviously be a huge signing. You know, Jalen Phillips is available. I just heard walking in here tonight, walking down State Street and hearing that the Eagles are trying to get a deal in place to bring back Jalen Phillips. That's another name. But I mentioned the guys with him. Now, Montez Sweat did, as you guys mentioned, he did have 10 sacks last year. Dio Dangbo, more is expected out of him. Shamar Turner as well. And as we were talking about backstage, Tina, you can have one of those teams where you get a bunch of guys that can get between 6 and 10 sacks.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to go. Of course, we all want the guy that can get to 15 to 20 sacks, but those are so rare. So maybe you stock some quantity.
And maybe, just maybe, instead of defensive end, we start talking about defensive tackle. Because quarterbacks in the NFL, they struggle and they don't like pressure up the middle. And that's one of the things that the Bears didn't get consistently.
Right.
With Javon Dexter, Big Bill is out of contract now. So that might be a position where they could upgrade. Maybe it doesn't cost as much as it would to get a premier defensive end.
Am I a little disappointed that the Bears did not get Max Crosby? Yes. But am I okay with them not getting Max Crosby at the same time? Yes, because I think you could go about that position in different directions as well. My thing is, you look at this roster, 0 safeties are under contract right now. You need to add talent at the linebacker position. And then, as you said, the interior of the defensive line, you need to upgrade that talent there as well. And the thing is, like, if you go out and get a guy like Max Crosby, okay. But the thing is, the injury history really concerns me. What if he gets hurt and he's done for the season? Then you gave up all that draft capital, all this stuff for him, and then you essentially can't play anymore. That's what concerned me about getting Max Crosby, knowing that the Raiders were wanting 2 first-round picks, but a player as well. That's a lot.
To your point, the Bears have, through over the last, 2 decades, the Bears have done it twice. They did give up a couple of draft picks in the 2018 season to get Khalil Mack. Now, some would say that it was worthwhile. The Bears won the division that year, probably should have won a playoff game that year, and then you go back even farther when the Bears gave up 2 first-round draft picks to get Jay Cutler, and say what you want to say about Jay Cutler, but he did steady the quarterback position for the Bears for about a decade. He probably overstayed his welcome with the Bears with the second contract he ended up getting from Phil Emery at the time. But there is some status quo for the Bears having done that.
All right, the Bears conversation continues next week on CST because we've yet to talk about the stadium.
And a senton for the defense.
For quarterback
They kick out only one.
This quickly definitely sends a pretty serious message.
In Chicago, you are. So, how about a bank that lets you know when you can afford to play?
Here comes
Get more for money. Huntington Bank.
He's gone home, indicted and convicted by President Obama's Justice Department.
But that's just scratching the surface. This room is struggling, getting rich by ripping off working people and evicting those in need. Taxes, while skipping out on paying his own.
Muscles up his opponent
With a Death Valley driver. Looks to climb the top rope.
Responsible for the content of this ad. There's been a lot of BS about Ryan. It's the truth.
He stands shoulder to shoulder with us. I've seen him take on some of the most people to lower us off. To stop the weaponization of violence.
And he's the only candidate with a detailed plan to hold Trump accountable. Don't believe the lies. His opponents can call him whatever names they want. I call him the toughest fighter for working people we know.
No one fights for him.
Roman gaining control.
I'm Roger Krishnamurti, and I approve this match. This is more than a win.
And he's absorbed some
It's a
stiff
top
offense
back.
already. And
Shaped by
Reigns doing
years
some
of craft,
proverbial
subtle
smashing there.
tweaks, tested and refined until
And looking to do some
money
damage.
meets the theme. Let's get more from money. Huntington Bay.
I fought more linemen than Avengers. So all of them collectively, form a very formidable team to go out there and go to war with. I call Drew Dahlman the Hulk. He's the brains and all of it, but when he gets out there, on the field, he's strong as can be, fast and the right guy for the job, for us and my future and our future here.
Welcome back to CSC Sunday. I'm Tina Wynn, and this segment is brought to you by your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Lawrence Holmes, Mark Brody in the house with us as we continue our Bears discussion. Before we get to the Drew Dahlman news, the Bears shipped off DJ Moore to Buffalo along with a fifth-round pick. In turn, they get back a second-round selection. Trading DJ Moore saves $16.5 million. Has to step up here, this wide receiver room now that DJ Moore is gone. Lawrence?
Rome Odunze would probably be the first person that you would say, just because of where he was drafted and what people expected. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. There was also, had it not been for the play that everyone got mad at DJ about, people would have been mad at Rome Odunze for the drop earlier in the game in the end zone. He's got all the things that you need to be good at this, and he's a willing blocker. He goes out there and he plays hard when he is healthy. But this is now the time. You want to see that relationship with Caleb Williams continue to grow and see him be the guy to step into the place. And it's funny, a sport listener actually brought this up. DJ Moore in that last year with Justin Fields has as many receiving yards as Rome Odunze's had in the last 2 years.
Things are about to hit another gear here.
Odunze is probably the guy that you're expecting to take the next step.
Yeah, I said it on the score on Raheem Harris and Brody the other day. We're kind of debating the same idea, and it's, as I'm putting it, it's a must-win season for Rome Odunze. He's got to live up to his first-round status coming in with Caleb Williams. Now, Luther Burden was terrific last year. I can't wait to see what he does, especially the ferocity with which that guy runs after the ball. It seems like endless possibilities in a Ben Johnson offense for him. We all know that Colston Loveland, of this entire crew of receivers, probably at this point, I think has the most star potential, especially relative to being a tight end. And DJ Moore was a terrific Bear. He really was. Made some massive catches this year. Had the 1,300+ yard season in the first Justin Fields year, but he's not irreplaceable. And you left the stock. The cupboard is, I wouldn't say full, but it's there. And then there is the draft as well. There are free agents as well. There will be more bodies coming into Alice.
It's interesting because DJ Moore and Luther Burden are similar with their run after catch ability. It's a different style.
Yeah.
DJ will probably put his shoulder into you, where Luther is going to juke you and run away from you. But both of them have incredible run after catch skill. But I'm with Gross. Colston Loveland is a game changer. I think that he will be the person that gets bracketed coverage until the rest of the guys prove that they can be the guy.
Colston really became Caleb's go-to target there down the stretch. Why are people so split on DJ Moore? Because they don't win some of those games without him, right? But at the same time, he's been criticized a lot for the low effort that we see from him on certain plays sometimes, Brody.
Well, I know we use the word all the time, but there did seem to be, at times, a chemistry issue with Caleb Williams and DJ Moore for whatever reason. There were games where you'd look up the next day and be like, what, one target? That's it? 2 catches for 20 yards? What's going on? Where is DJ Moore in all of this? And, my philosophy on this is, or my theory on this to some degree is, like, Caleb came in with Rome Odunze. The new guys that are part of this organization, Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, come in. It's almost like DJ Moore was the guy that was left out, and there was more interest in seeing the younger guys thrive than DJ Moore. Some of it's on DJ Moore, too.
Let's start keeping with the offense and talk about the offensive line. Drew Dalman started retirement last offseason, signed a 3-year, $42 million deal here with the Bears. Just 27 years old, 5 seasons in the NFL, 4 in Atlanta, obviously the past 1 year. With the Bears, how significant of a loss is this on the offensive line, especially for a quarterback like Caleb Williams?
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
You heard Caleb talking about him being smart, like being tough, but also being really brilliant in calling out the protections and helping Caleb grow from his rookie year to his second year. It's a big deal. Like, we can't say it enough. Like, how big of it. I'm happy for Drew. Like, if this is what he wants, I hope that he has found whatever piece that he needs to come to on this, because he was phenomenal last season, and you get it. This game is brutal, and it's brutal on guys that play in the middle of the line. Their heads are getting bashed in every single play.
Well, the Bears have already found a replacement, trading with the Patriots for Garrett Bradbury. How do you think he'll fit on this offensive line? I think he's a quick veteran fix for this team. I wouldn't be shocked if they do draft a center.
I think he'll be fine, but that's the best I can probably use the word fine. I mean, he's not as good as Drew Dalman. We all know that. It's looking pretty. It's not out of the question. I think it would be a shocker at this point if the Bears were to sign Linderbaum at this point. I don't think that that's going to be it. And with the other guys having been signed, that is the guy. Like, he's fine. He's not going to insult anybody's sensibilities football-wise, but he is not as good as Drew Dalman.
All right, Gary, what should the Bears do at left tackle? Would you want to see a Taylor Decker and Ben Johnson reunion here in Chicago?
I think it makes so much sense. It really does.
The O-line.
It really does. Yeah. Or a 1 or 2 year deal, and then you hopefully
draft someone too.
Yeah, and then you Capello coming back hopefully at the end of this year or next year. The only problem I see with this in terms of getting him here, he was due to make $18.5 million this year, and he said, no, I don't want that. You're insulting me. I'm leaving. Do the Bears, do they want to pay him the $20 million that he might want at this point? And I don't know if that's realistic.
All right, we need to take another break here on CST. Will UNC be dusting off their dancing shoes for the first time in 22 seasons?
Going up top now. Side slam.
All Wednesdays on Fox. Jamie Andrade, a son of immigrants, and outrage. I passed the law to protect families from Trump's illegal ice cream. And a donor candidate endorsed by Planned Parenthood for protecting women's rights. I'm Jamie Andrade, and I'm fighting back. Juliana Stratton isn't being honest. The completely is. Stratton's massive supercut is funded by a fairly contractor running Chicago's largest ice protection center. While Case Rich Chicago, Stratton benefits from a contract attached. Stratton is a pride about refusing money from MAGA donors. Saying one thing, losing another.
And the tribal chief really having to acknowledge the offense directed right at him at this point.
We paid the price for years of Melissa Conyan's Irvin's corruption, caught using taxpayer-funded staff to run personal errands. Staff paid the whistle, she fired them, sticking taxpayers with a $100,000 legal bill. Now she's being funded by Trump's men.
Jason Friedman, I am not a brutal politician. I've spent my career creating good paying union jobs. I'll fight for working people. I approve this message because I have a radical idea. Send people to Washington, work as hard as you do.
Trump's ICE agents are terrorizing their streets. And the insiders who funded Trump's ICE raids are the same ones funding the Guerrero Rivera. We need fighters in Springfield. Not Alvaro Rivera. Sea Dios Miguel Alvaro Rivera.
this conference tournament. Comes next to the big games for the first time since 04-1.
Strong display from main event Jey Uso, but he'll be hitting the showers if he shows off too long. DDT!
Makes it a one-possession game. He had a career high 28 points. Moments later, UIC down 3. Leon Bond throws it down with such authority. Oh my goodness, take another look.
Kick right in the face.
He's led by 5. Under 2 to go. Flames down 10. Trey King takes the
Rising to
contact.
his feet in a perilous situation.
Go and 1. Panthers, though, hold on to win this one, 84-69. They punched their ticket to the big games for the first time since 2016. Back here on CST. Tina Wynn, Lawrence Holmes, Mark Grody with you. Let's talk some college hoops. UIC comes up short of an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. It possibly could be invited to another postseason tourney. But how big of a job has Rob Esau done here in year 2, Lawrence?
Terrific. They had gone through a really rough stretch midway through the year where they had lost 6 in a row, and then they rallied to get themselves in a position to be one of the more dangerous teams in the Valley Conference tournament. Really great second year for him, and they deserve a lot of credit. Like they could have folded up and said, you know what, they didn't. That shows that team has a lot of commitment.
I'll never forget last season when they beat Drake, because Drake had wins over, I believe, Miami, Vanderbilt as well, and I kind of turned my head and thinking, what's going on over there at UIC? Rob Esau, young head coach, really good recruiter though. How impressed are you by the job he's done?
Very impressed, and this is what I love about the conference tournaments. The fact that you can struggle at times during the regular season, and then anything can happen during the tournament. I was very disappointed because if you're going to get into the championship game, you may as well win it, especially when that's probably their avenue to the NCAA tournament. So I'm proud of them, happy for them, but disappointed they weren't able to finish it.
All right, well, let's talk some DePaul hoops. It's such a shame that we don't have a DePaul alum here with us. I mean, oh wait.
One that was at the game yesterday.
Shifting with every turn in the match. Making his way to the top here.
Chris Holtman in year 2, how good of a job has he done to revive this program?
He's done a wonderful job. There's no doubt about that. It was great to see DePaul kind of back against the headlines, especially going into last week. It is frustrating that you had 2 games to win 1. You win 1, you get a bye into the second round, the quarterfinal of the Big East tournament, and you don't pull it off. Seeing a loss to Butler was atrocious. Like I walked out with 8 minutes left to go because they were down 30. So yeah, it's rough, but they still have an opportunity in the Big East tournament. And the Big East is so weak this year that anyone can win it, including DePaul. And we saw that yesterday with Marquette and UConn. Anyone can win this year's Big East tournament.
DePaul will be the number 6 seed in the Big East tournament, which begins on Wednesday. They'll be taking on Georgetown. You think they can make some noise in this tournament, Brody?
I mean, like the 6 seed, me too. Now, like I didn't go to DePaul, I didn't spend all my money at DePaul, but I grew up as a massive, like many people in Chicago early on. I was a massive DePaul fan, so I'm always a threat to jump onto the bandwagon again for the DePaul Blue Demons.
Come on,
a 6 seed, that's the best seed they've ever had in the Big East tournament, which is a revelation. They were over 500 this year. I know they didn't win in the Big East or weren't over 500 in the Big East,
but 8 wins.
Little small victories for DePaul. It's not atrocious. I hate to set the bar there, but I'm setting the bar. It's not atrocious.
Oh, that's the right place to set it.
Okay.
Now you got to improve from there.
We're happy to be supporters here of DePaul. All right, let's talk about Illinois because the Big Ten tournament, I believe. Yes, excuse me. Tips off on Tuesday at the UC. Brad Underwood, the Illini, have clinched a triple bye. They'll be the 4th seed. They closed out the regular season with the win against Maryland. It wasn't a pretty win, but I have to imagine this was a huge week for Brad Underwood and his team. Any thought they just clinched the title game?
Yes. There is a shot that they advance to the title game. Now look. The game against Michigan last week was rough. It did. But one of the things about Brad Underwood is that usually when he gets a second opportunity at a team, they can work through it. This is a talented roster that they've got down there in Champaign. And I know that they kind of went from fighting for the last 1 seed to probably now being a 3 seed, a high 3 seed. I think they actually have what it takes to make a deep run in the tournament.
Okay, I'm concerned about them.
Okay.
I'm concerned
Why?
about them because defense finally showed up in the second half of that game. And against Michigan, that was the team they were supposed to be able to match up when it comes to the size.
Yes.
And Michigan completely.
They bullied them.
Yes.
They absolutely bullied them in that game.
I thought today was a huge win. It wasn't pretty. You're right. And I thought for a while I was worried Maryland might pull off the upset. But if you lose that game, then you've lost 4 out of your last 6 going into the tournament. So I thought it was a really important win for the Illini just to get back that feeling and that confidence. So I do feel good about Illinois.
Selection Sunday, exactly a week from today. We need to take another time out here later in the show. White Sox have named their opening day starter. The emotional response while Team USA just continues to dominate in the WBC. Keep it right here on EST.